That's what I thought.
Slipping us something a little sexy.
All right, we're live. All right, everyone. Welcome to the Fantasy Commissioner. This is going to be the NFL Draft Day 1 live stream. Joining me is League Champion from 2016, Guy Kohnke. And joining me is the 2021 League Champion, Tiny Tony Mize. And we're just going to we're 25 minutes out from the NFL Draft. And we're just going to sit here like we've done the last couple of years, and we're going to watch it live with you. And you're going to listen to our version of how things are going or aren't going, or, you know, maybe we'll try to throw in a little fantasy spin if we can. I do have the volume up on the TV, so hopefully it's not overriding us. It shouldn't. I think I'm a loud enough speaker where...
Should be good.
Yeah. So, welcome, gentlemen.
Thank
Good to
you.
be here.
Tony?
Good to be here.
You didn't catch that? I said, welcome, gentlemen. Tony.
I got it. I'm a little slow today.
So, of course, here we are. We're just 20-some minutes from the draft. Jacksonville's got the first overall pick, looking like they're not trading.
I don't know.
They're
I've
still
heard
trying
rumors.
to.
They might still be trying to.
I just don't think there's anyone that people want to trade up.
Yeah, this draft is definitely probably one of the worst quarterback drafts there is, or has been.
How funny would it be if this actually ends up being like 5 elite quarterbacks out of this draft and like none next year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I like Pickett. And we were just talking about that before we went on camera. I do like Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh. I think Malik Willis has potential. But like I've told these guys, I'm not a big fan of small university guys. I'm not trying to hold anything against them, but I like to view your competition.
I'm surprised you feel that way about Ohio State.
Good call.
They're in a whole other stratosphere by themselves.
Because they're so small and...
Oh, whatever. Anyways, moving along. So, here we're going to do as we go through this, we're going to give who we think will be the pick. Now, we've gone through all three of us, and kind of pre-written or pre-typed out how we think this draft's going to go. The only thing I didn't do it. I don't know if you guys mixed in if trades happen. I don't usually do that.
I just threw in one trade.
I didn't do any trades. I imagine there's be a few of them at least.
Yeah,
But
there's going to be a couple.
So let's talk about the possibility. Well, here, you know what? Why don't we just go down this darn thing? So,
well, they're introducing players. Oh, he is off my list just by how he dresses.
yeah, some of these players are definitely dressed differently.
Yes. Other people look at stats and stuff. I like how they dress for the what?
And as we
He's
learned,
off my list.
and as we learned last year, well, he's going to Chicago clearly with those color schemes.
Black and red.
Yep, he's got that certain je ne sais quoi you look for in your linebacker right here, in Dean. All right, gentlemen, let's go right down. We'll name them if we want to quick talk about each spot. We can. First overall pick Jacksonville. We'll go Guy, then Tony, then myself.
Who we think's gonna go, or who think they'll pick?
Go. Who you think? How you think it's gonna go?
I think they're going with Ike Ekwonu.
Trayvon Walker.
I picked Ike Ekwonu too, and the reason I went with the offensive lineman is, look, you have all this money invested in Trevor Lawrence, you have all this money invested around your offense, and your defense. You could add any of these defensive players who are amazing. However, they're not going to change that defense because the rest of the components are so bad.
Mm-hmm. And I completely agree with that. But like I was talking to a guy off camera, and Jacksonville's known for botching the draft and picking the hype guy. Right now, Trayvon Walker is that hype guy. So that's why I said they're taking him.
Moving into number 2, we get the Lions. I think this might be consensus.
Should be Aiden Hutchinson, but I would not be surprised if they go off the do the Lion thing and take Sauce Gardner.
So you're going with Hutchinson, though?
Yeah.
Hutchinson.
And I agree with Hutchinson. I really think it would be a bad thing. I think it's just, from a PR standpoint alone, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he's a phenomenal player. He is.
Mm-hmm.
But being it's Detroit, being he's from Michigan, all that thing, They're going to be the Lions fans are going to be very tolerant if it's a bust,
Yes.
because they're going to say, well, we would have done the same thing.
He
Yep.
can be no good, and the Lions fans will still.
If
like
they
him.
took, like you said, Sauce Gardner or even Thibodeau, then they'd be like, well, why didn't you take Hutchinson?
Yes.
Okay, so now we move on to number 3, which is Houston.
I have Ike Ekwonu. And the
I-
reason, I'll give my reasoning. So they drafted Miles Davis. He showed spurts last year. Let's get him some protection, see what he can do. They also have another pick in the first round.
Two-Face?
And then next year is a better quarterback class. So Miles Davis doesn't work out. They got the tackle now. They draft the quarterback next year.
While he's looking up, I went myself with Trayvon Walker.
I picked Kayvon Thibodeau just because.
Yes.
Before we go to pick 4, just so everyone's clear, if in my own personal view, Thibodeau is the best player in this draft.
He very well could be. I also think defensive spot is for Lovie Smith being there. He's always been defensive line guy.
Yep.
I think.
I was between Trayvon Walker and Thibodeau on this pick myself with Houston. The reason I went, here's the thing that hurts. Thibodeau would be the first overall pick in this draft. What hurts him is this whole the conception of they think he's about his own brand, and like he's more geared towards a brand than he is necessarily football. Like kind of remember they used to say Randy Moss took plays off.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? I don't know what's going on. Just so everyone knows, right now there's something going on here on the TV. I don't know what it is. There's a lady. I don't know if she's supposed to be a Cleopatra or
She's
Queen.
talking.
Oh, it's Ukraine. Okay. God bless all the people of Ukraine. Now we go to the Jets.
Jets, I have taken the Sauce.
Sauce Gardner.
I have Thibodeau because just based on how I've already done this, best player available.
Mm-hmm. Other drafts, I'd have them taking Thibodeau as well.
The Giants. I don't want to because obviously we only got 20 minutes. So we can't break each one down right now.
Mm-hmm.
We were, just so you guys know, we were going to start at 7. However, we were eating. So so for your benefit, we didn't go on camera yet. All right, so New York, Giants.
I have Charles Cross because they need, if they're going to give Daniel Jones any chance this year, they need to tighten up that line, and so I think that's where they go.
I go Thibodeau here.
I went Evan Neal. Same philosophy with you. Next up, we have 6, where this is where in real life could get interesting. And I went with who I think is the better choice than what a lot of people think they're going to take.
I have the Panthers going with the obvious choice of Evan Neal.
Agreed.
I went Sauce Gardner here, but Evan Neal was already gone in mine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Their offensive line is terrible.
I think
Yes.
right. However, the 2 best offensive linemen are gone. You have the best corner out there. Improving your defense does not hurt. They have a pretty decent defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's like we were talking earlier about Jacksonville, where there's nothing.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the Giants again. Now, this could be a trade-out situation. However, we're not doing a trade scenario, so go ahead.
Giants here, I have Kyle Hamilton because I think he could be an impact defensive player for them since they
Safety.
trade away Peppers. If Sauce is still there, I think they would take him, so they have Sauce and Cross.
I got Charles Cross going to the Giants.
I went a player who is popular. I'm uncertain about him because he hasn't had a strong couple of years, but because I already had Sauce gone, I went with Stingley Jr. You know, with the premise of hoping he'll have that 2019 again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Very well could be as well.
But I think in real life this is a trade out situation too.
I think they're trying to, but it's hard to, I can't predict them.
We got Hotlanta.
Atlanta, I think they realize they're going to not be a very good team this year. I think they'll be slightly improved from last year. But they have to realize they have Mariota to hold them over. So if they're bad, then they just get another high pick next year. So start building up for down the road a couple of years, I'm taking Jameson Williams.
I have him taking Garrett Wilson.
I also have him picking Garrett Wilson. However, I did contemplate Pickett here. But your philosophy makes sense on kind of why I didn't go Pickett. Because I thought, well, here's a situation where you got Pitts already there, and then you had this burner in Garrett Wilson.
I can also see if Stingley or Sauce are still available and go that way, then you have A.J. Terrell, and that'd be a awesome dual cornerback threat.
Moment of silence for Dwayne Haskins.
And number 9.
Way to move on.
Number 9, Seattle, which I think will be a trade-out situation, but
I don't think Seattle trades out of this because this is the pick they got for Russell.
I wasn't real sure how they would go on this one. I went with Trent McDuffie because he's from Washington, and he plays corner, which is the position they need.
I went Stingley here.
I went Charles Cross. On my thing, I already had, he's the best lineman available. I think they're going to go with Locke and give him at least a year.
That's how I feel.
Maybe not even 2.
Apparently, they like Locke quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I liked Locke coming out of college. I'm going to sneeze here. Excuse me.
That was a sneeze. Child.
All right, next up we have the Jets, which is another situation that could be a trade-out spot. Go.
Garrett Wilson.
Jameson Williams.
But
in my opinion, this is where Debo gets traded to the Jets. Just saying.
I mean, that's a very good possibility.
I'm just throwing it out there because that's. I did 2 mock drafts, one a little bit off the wall, so that's what I had going.
So I've done a few of these drafts, and every single draft I've done so far, this next pick at Washington, always comes up the same for me.
I have Drake London.
Kyle Hamilton.
I have Kyle Hamilton every single time. And at one point, Kyle Hamilton was considered a top 4 pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so next up we got Minnesota, which could be another trade-out situation.
A lot of these could be trade-out situations.
Yeah.
I have Minnesota taking Stingley Jr. because he was still on my board and they desperately need a corner.
McDuffie?
I have the defensive end from Florida State, Jermaine Johnson.
Although Minnesota could be sneaky there and take a receiver, and then he could have Jefferson, Thielen, and one of the top receivers this year.
And with Thielen getting old, could be a good choice.
Now we got Houston again at 13.
With Houston, again, because of Lovie Smith and his defensive line, I haven't taken Jordan Davis.
I went Jermaine Johnson.
I went receiver Drake London.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Well, I mean, they haven't replaced Hopkins yet.
Can't replace that.
No, you
I
can't.
mean, I thought it was a good
They have
situation.
Brandon Cooks. And
Michigan receiver
What,
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins.
Okay.
And Conley.
And Conley. Can't forget about Conley.
Okay, Drake London would be a good addition there. All right, let's move on to number 14, Baltimore.
I had a hard time with this one. Because I feel like they could go a lot of different spots. I'd end up giving them Devin Lloyd for that linebacker positions. They always seem to have a good dominant linebacker throughout the years. And I think it's time for an upgrade there. And it just seems like that type of player.
I agree. I also got Devin Lloyd. Patrick Queen has been good, but not what they thought he would be. So let's bring in another guy and have them work in tandem.
Yeah.
I went same position, different name. I went Nakobe Dean.
Oh, could be.
Next, we have the first of 2 Eagle picks.
Here's where I had the free fall stop, and I had the Eagles taking Trayvon Walker.
You think he's going to fall that far? I didn't even think about that. I wasn't paying attention. I guess that you hadn't named him yet.
Nope.
Wow.
I think if a couple teams get nervous about him, other teams would be like, why didn't they draft him? What's wrong here?
Yeah.
Who you get
I
the
went
Eagles?
Drake London for the Eagles. At
So,
15.
I did not go Trayvon Walker because I already had him gone. But I went with one of his teammates. I went with Jordan Davis.
Legit.
Another solid defensive player. I mean, this at the end of the day, you're going to hear a recurring theme. defensive line, receiver.
Yeah.
All right, so next up we got New Orleans.
I have them taking Trevor Penning to offensive tackle.
I have them taking Jordan Davis, defensive tackle.
I also have them taking Trevor Penning. That's another team that's kind of like it needs to rebuild in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know they still are, I guess, contending for their division, but it seems like they've aged out and they just.
Mm-hmm. Well, they lost Armstead.
Yep.
Yes.
He went to Miami.
And so they need to replenish the offensive line. And if you're going to be a good team, you have to have a good offensive line.
Receiver was also a thought I had here, by the way.
True.
Yes.
All right, so next up we have your San Diego Chargers, and I'm going to let this man go first.
Chris
Wait,
Olave.
Hold on, I
here.
just said San Diego and you didn't correct me.
That's because that's where they belong. I'm taking Chris Olave here.
Olave.
I don't care. I just want him.
I have them taking Jermaine Johnson the second.
I
The
have-
first is his dad. He's too old to play.
I have them also taking Chris Olave. Because, I mean, think about it. We receiving core for 1 year would be Keenan Allen, Chris Olave, and Mike Williams.
2 years.
2 years.
Mike Williams there for 2 years.
Well, I was more looking at Keenan Allen, probably kind of.
He's still got some years left.
Was it?
Still on
He's got to be 45 by now, isn't he?
close, but
So next up we have Philly with their second, so at 18.
I have Philly taking George Pickens.
Wow, that's a move up.
that's.
I know who, I guess we need to pay attention to this for fantasy value too.
Yeah, with you.
Go ahead.
I have them taking offensive guard Zion Johnson from Boston College.
I went receiver. I went Treylon Burks out of Arkansas. So now we go back to New Orleans for their second pick.
I have them taking Chris Olave.
I have them taking Trevor Penning. So the Saints in my draft board still got the same guy you did, just a
Yeah,
couple picks later.
flipped him. Yeah.
I went receiver Christian Hudson.
I don't want him to go there. I mean, I don't have an opinion on him.
Next up, we have the Steelers.
This one I've been two guys I've flipping back and forth because they both seem to have reasons why they'd be there. But I went with Malik Willis because they probably need a quarterback to at least learn or sit for a little bit to get better. And I think Tomlin's a Malik Willis kind of guy.
I picked the same guy for about the same reasons. I think with the Steelers receiving core, Malik Willis throws a better deep ball than
Mhm.
Pickett.
Yep.
So with their receiving core, you got to go with the deep ball thrower.
Mm-hmm.
I myself went with quarterback as well. However, I went with the best quarterback in the draft. And the guy that all he's got to do is move down the hallway, and that's Kenny Pickett, who I think should have been the
It's
highest trophy winner.
pronounced Desmond Ritter.
Anyways, I went with Pickett. I think he's ready to go as soon as, you give Trubisky his chance, but as soon as he screws up, you don't have to really teach Pickett much. I know the whole hand thing is an issue, but like Ryan Leaf said, Ryan Leaf has a really big hand, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, look at his
And
success.
who's taking what Ryan Leaf has into consideration for anything?
No, what he was saying is...
I don't care what he's saying.
What he was saying is hand size should determine if you're a quarterback or not.
He ruined my team for years. I don't want nothing to do with anything he says.
Well, that could be management, though, too. I mean, just think about it. You could have Woodson.
Yeah, move on.
All right, next up we have New England.
This one was kind of tricky too, but I ended up going with center from Iowa, Tyler Linderbaum, because he's not flashy, because New England doesn't usually go for flashy guys. He's a center that can control the game, just like the Chiefs drafted. I can't remember the guy's name they drafted last year, but he was like one of the best centers in the league last
I can't
year.
remember who it was.
But I just think that seems like their kind of player they take.
I have them taking the linebacker from Georgia, Jacoby Dean.
I went corner out of Clemson, Andrew Booth.
I can see all those too. I almost went corner there because they lost J.C. Jackson.
Yep. That's exactly why my philosophy.
I just feel Dean is a Belichick guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I already had him gone, though. Next up, we have Green Bay.
Green Bay. I have them going with a player they can use. Tyler Smith, offensive tackle.
I have them taking Trey Burks.
I went with my best receiver left on the board, Jahan Dotson, out of Penn State. Next up, we have Arizona at 23.
There, I think they could easily go for another wide receiver, but there was also a good defensive end left, George Karlaftis. So I went with Karlaftis.
Yep, I got the same pick there.
I have linebacker Devin Lloyd. Next up, 24, we got Dallas.
Zion Johnson, because they need offensive line help.
Kenyon Green. Both guards.
I went with George Karlaftis to replace Randy Gregory. Next up, Buffalo.
Buffalo. I had a hard time with this one as well, as I think two spots they need are running back and corner. But I have them taking Breece Hall in this spot.
I also have them taking Breece Hall.
Same position, different name. I went Kenneth Walker. Best running back in the draft, probably.
You're starting to draft 10? 10th best running back?
All right, number 26. I heard his name is the Titans. I'm taking Kenyon Green with the Titans pick.
For the Titans, I have them going with Devontae Wyatt.
I have them going a little bit off here. I think they realize that Tannehill is not the answer, and they take Kenny Pickett.
I almost.
That's not. I don't think that's really out. That makes sense.
I was debating quarterback.
I think they take Kenny Pickett, let him sit under Tannehill for a year, and then next year Kenny Pickett's the guy.
Because there's going to be a team that takes a quarterback that you weren't expecting, and that seems like one that would fit.
All right, we got 3 minutes to cram these in. So we got number 27. We got Tampa.
I have them taking someone that can play right away. Daxton Hill, corner from Michigan.
Devontae Wyatt, defensive lineman from Georgia.
I want the offensive lineman, Bernard Ryman. I said it right?
I think so. I don't know who that is.
Number 28, we got Green Bay.
Green Bay, their second pick. They have positions to fill. I'm taking Nakobe Dean. Keep the streak alive.
Quay Walker, linebacker from Georgia.
Lineman Zion Johnson. 29, your Kansas City Chiefs.
My Kansas City Chiefs. They've signed some receivers, but I think they still need some help. So I'm going to go Sky Moore.
I was considering Sky Moore at this pick, but I went Christian Watson.
That's who I kind of want.
Bigger, faster. Well, not faster than Tyreek, but he's still fast and a whole lot bigger. Let's give Mahomes a big target to throw to, besides Kelsey.
Now, for a second, I did think about Sky Moore here, but then I decided to go ground less. So, all right. That's the kind of humor you get here, by the way, folks. I went with the defensive lineman, Devontae Wyatt. So, again, we have your Kansas City Chiefs.
And this one I have them taking Jalen Petrie, corner from Baylor since they lost Matthew. Petrie's kind of a little bit of a hybrid. He can play corner or safety. I think they can use him wherever they need to put him to kind of replace him.
I have them taking Boye Mafe, defensive or edge rusher from Minnesota.
I went with the corner out of Washington, Trey McDuffie. Kind of same philosophy with you. Always a little bit, their defense needs to get wired back up. And then we got 31, your AFC champion, Cincinnati Bengals.
Bengals, right here. I have them taking cornerback Kyer Elam from Florida because Eli Apple sucks.
I was just going to say Eli Apple sucks, so they take Andrew Booth, corner from Clemson.
You realize Eli Apple is a huge reason they were world or went to the Super Bowl, right?
And he was the reason they lost the Super Bowl too.
I went with the thing that they really need help with is offensive line. So I went with the young best center available, Tyler Lindenbaum. So he and Joe Burrow can have a tight connection. Kind of that, hand to butt scenario.
There
You
you go.
like the hand of us.
And finally, your Detroit Lions. Your Detroit Lions.
Not my Detroit Lions.
The 32 pick of the first round.
What's funny is they say your Detroit Lions, and then Matthew Stafford comes up on
Yeah.
TV.
That's all I got.
All right.
I have him taking safety Lewis Sign from Georgia because he's a defensive player from Georgia.
I got him taking their potential future Desmond Ridder, quarterback out of Cincinnati.
I would be okay with that, but I just figure they wouldn't.
I went with who I thought was the best quarterback available at this point, and I gave him Malik Willis.
And see, with that pick, it was really hard for me because they picked Jacksonville picks, and then they pick again.
Can't cheat. Did you see also it switched from like blue where you can move around? All of a sudden it just turned white.
So I had a hard time with that pick because they could take him with the second pick in the second round too. Because Jacksonville's not going to take a quarterback.
Yeah, that's why the second round I haven't taken Ritter. But I've also heard that there's teams looking to grab Detroit's either 32nd pick or that second round pick.
And I've heard Dan Campbell likes Howell. Don't know why, but yeah.
I know Matt Corral sounds like he's really dropping.
Yeah.
The quarterbacks are there. That's really it. I mean,
Yeah, those 5. You got those 5 quarterbacks. Besides that, you hear nothing.
Yeah, no one else on that list is really
let's see.
like noteworthy.
I mean, really, the other players that we named off, quarterback-wise, obviously he named off same. Matt Corral is one that's been talked about going in the first round as well, but I doubt it. For running back, there's only probably 2 that really go in the first, and that's Walker or Hall. I don't think Spiller makes it, unfortunately, into the first.
I think Spiller goes 3rd round.
Yeah.
Receiver, I mean,
I think running back out of this draft is going to be very dependent on where someone
Landing
ends
spot.
up.
Receiver-wise, you're going to see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could see as many as, I think, possibly 7 receivers going in this first
Yes.
round.
I think the over-under was like 6.5 on FanDuel or something.
So isn't that 7?
I don't know.
I mean, unless you're drafting half a guy. I just want
That's
his
just
legs.
how the odds work.
I won't even take his hands. Just give
It's
me his
always
legs.
half.
How tall is Olave?
6'1", I think.
Offensive line is going to be, I think, pretty strong in this draft.
Uh-huh.
I mean, potentially, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I mean, with what we just listed off, it's offensive line and defensive players
Yeah.
and receivers.
I think at least 8 linemen go in this draft.
Round
In this
2 is
first
going to
round.
be receivers, running backs, and a punter.
And a punter.
There's one good punter in this draft. Can't tell you who it is. I just heard there was one good punter in this draft.
I'd say anywhere from 6 to 8 defensive linemen, the slash edge player. I mean, there's a couple that we didn't name off, like the Penn State, Arnold.
I can't say his name either. That's why I didn't.
Arnold out of Penn State, Ebikidi.
Abikabi?
Yep. David Ojabo is another one. What hurts him, of course, is the injury.
Jabba would have been top 10 if he
Yep.
didn't blow out his ACL.
So somebody's going to get a steal.
Yep.
Second, probably in the second round.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then
I would love it if it would be the same team that has Hutchinson.
I'm trying to think of any other defensive lineman that we named off that. Boy Mafi
Oh, I
could go in the first round.
have him going in for
Yeah.
the Chiefs.
Linebacker, I'd say there's really, truly only 2. I guess you could slip in.
Yeah. N'Kobe, Quay, Jordan. Was that his name?
There's Dean, there's Lloyd.
Lloyd.
These are linebackers. I mean, I guess Christian Harris out of Alabama could slip in.
I thought about slating him,
I've heard-
slating Harris to the Patriots just because Alabama and the Patriots go
Yeah.
together.
I've heard a lot of people like Drake Johnson, the linebacker out of SC.
Mm-hmm.
Corner, potentially, 4 to 5 go in the first.
Yeah.
Gardner, Stingley, Booth, McDuffie, Elam.
There's, was it Kyler Gordon?
Yeah, Kyler Gordon too.
Yep. Safety this is a weak safety draft.
There's a couple.
Hamilton for
Good.
sure will be a
Yeah.
first round, and then you do have Daxton Hill as a consideration. I could see Lewis
Scene.
seen as a consideration. Brisker from Penn State.
I think it's those top three, and then
Keep naming the safeties. There was one that was like my sleeper one. I can't remember his name though.
Petrie.
Nope.
Kirby Joseph.
Nope.
Brian Cook.
Nope.
Cordell Fiat.
Nope.
Nick Cross.
Nope.
Vernon McKinney.
No.
Jabril Peppers.
It's not out
Ronnie Lott.
there. Never mind.
Ed Reed.
Troy Polamalu.
Steve Atwater. Dennis Smith. Jack Tatum.
Shut up.
Yeah.
So now at this point, it's 8 o'clock. The commissioner, I think, just has to come out and say they're on the clock. They're in commercial right now. We got Pizza Hut commercial going on here. This is one of my favorite days of the year. It really is. This is one of my other Christmases. The NFL
Watch out
draft.
for this guy, Yusuf Corker.
You just like the name.
So it can be a sleeper.
Some have said Yusuf is useless.
What's that one?
Wahani Thomas.
How do you get he at the end of that? Use your grammar.
You have to remember, I have a spring-like education. Oh wait, so do you.
Okay, how about this one?
Give it to the Kentwood guy.
Well, don't give it to the Kentwood guy.
That's said, ain't no party like a Kentwood
I like
party
this.
because the Kentwood party don't stop.
Smoke
Stop.
Monday.
Drink Tuesday?
Yeah.
Who comes up with these names?
Parents.
Parents. Good call.
I know one time the radio station said parents they don't think when they name their kids, and they had one that people called in and said that the people's last name was Fan, and they named all their kids after their favorite team. So there was one of the kids' name was Raider Fan, and the other one was Warrior Fan. They're obviously from the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have Commissioner out here who's with him. I see Derek Carr, is that Waller up there with him? It would be funny if one of these teams come up and say, hey, are those guys part of the draft? Also, Derek Carr goes first overall.
I believe Derek Carr would be ranked number 1 in this draft.
Waller could be up there too, probably.
Yeah.
Is that Waller?
Yeah. He's not getting traded.
No.
No. Let's talk about that for a minute. Honestly, we've talked about some of these quarterbacks. If I'm one of these teams that really needs a quarterback, honestly, if it's only going to cost you one pick, if you can do it for just one first-round pick, get Mayfield if you're in a situation to win now.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina's in a situation, if you give them Baker Mayfield, they could be a tremendously improved team. Marcus Allen.
I don't like Mayfield. I don't think he's a good quarterback. I would rather go for Jimmy Garoppolo. If San Fran's willing to trade Jimmy, I'd take Jimmy Garoppolo over Mayfield any day. What has Mayfield done
Not
in
for
his
a
career?
first-round pick.
Fail?
Not for a
That's-
first.
that's
You're not
all-
giving up a first-round pick for Jimmy
No,
Garoppolo.
you're not. And Cleveland's not going to get a first-round pick for Mayfield.
My big
He's-
blockbuster idea was Packers trade Aaron Rodgers and one of
For
their
Derek
picks.
Carr.
No, to San Fran for Debo and Garoppolo.
Could happen.
Others people obviously Debo has also talked about getting traded. That you realize that scenario is not happening, right?
I know, but it'd be. I have a question on the trade with what's his name from the Raiders now, like Adams. So, how did they trade someone that wasn't signed?
I think they have to work. I think they technically. If I remember how some of that stuff works, they do. He has to sign, and then it gets traded. He probably would. They didn't. Maybe log it as he signed with Green Bay, but I'm sure he had to sign with them.
Just saying.
Oh, yeah, Ice Cube up here. How come we? You know what? We need to all get jerseys. We should all get jerseys that had 22 of their names on it.
No.
You could just
Why?
have a jersey that says guy in the back 22, and you could
What?
have one that says Tiny T 22.
Mighty Midget. That works too.
And I could just have like his fancy commissioner, 22.
What yours would be a Dolphins, his would be a Bengals, and mine would be a Charger.
What the hell would your team be?
I don't know.
You're like
Bears?
literally. Are you bandwagon? Is he bandwagon? I wonder. I mean, think about
Bandwagon with the Lions, Bears, Bengals.
Yeah.
it. Chiefs.
Chiefs, yeah, they've just gotten good in the last several years.
No, they've been good for almost 30 years.
No, they haven't.
Yes, they have. You go back. They started when they started with Chris Jacoy, and they pretty much were in the playoffs every year after that,
No, they weren't.
for the most part. How many AFC champ? Okay, Montana took them to the AFC Championship game.
What, 1984?
That was the Niners.
You always talk about the history. We're talking about the present.
I'm just saying they've been for the most part a consistent playoff team for the last 30 years.
And the Chargers got blown out in 1994 by the San Francisco 49ers, but nobody cares.
All right, here we go. Here's your Jacksonville Jaguars
Yeah.
are on the clock. They have 9 minutes and 33 seconds
My
to figure this
Jacksonville
out.
Jaguars. You're the one wearing their quarterback. Useless guy.
He is my fantasy quarterback because I traded away Brady.
Did he throw more interceptions and touchdowns?
Oh, look at the lineup he's got. So here we go. We're going over some of the notable offseason quarterback trades. We got Russell Wilson, Carson Wentz, Deshaun Watson, and Matt Ryan.
Man, Deshaun Watson's going to ruin Cleveland more than they're already ruined.
Yep.
Yeah.
All that guaranteed money is ridiculous.
We got Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill, big names that got traded from the wide receiver position. Of course, my Dolphins don't have a first-round pick. Your Bears don't have a first-round pick.
No.
Your Raiders and Broncos don't have a first-round.
I don't like, no.
I know.
What's that logo with the penis?
Oh, what? Come on, man. This is a family-friendly show.
I use proper terminology.
It's FCC friendly. We're good.
All right, so again, we have, I'm going with the offensive lineman, Icky. You are as well.
Going with the hype guy,
Yeah.
Trayvon Walker.
I can't. It's either Icky or Trayvon Walker.
Like I said, if I was actually making this pick, though, I would take Thibodeau. I mean, based on just how I believe he's the best player in
I
this
feel like
draft.
there's not a wrong pick for them, so I'm trying to think who would be the wrong pick here.
Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett. Pretty much a quarterback would be a bad pick here.
That would be awesome if they drafted.
They trade Trevor Lawrence away.
One of the teams has a trade offer for him to take Willis, so they draft him. Like, oh, never mind.
There you go. Also, Trevor Lawrence gets traded. Well, for a second, I think I had Steeler picture up here.
So did I.
That's not.
Roethlisberger dropping back. Oh, it's Iowa.
It looks better than Roth. No, that looks just like Roethlisberger.
Off the subject here, I saw an interesting thing. They were talking about the was it XFL or USFL? It was one of the two. I think it was the XFL. They said whoever wins the XFL should play whoever finishes last place in the NFL, and the winner is in the NFL, and the loser is in the XFL
yeah.
for a year.
I
Could you
don't-
imagine that?
There's not ever going to be one of those teams that are good enough to beat the worst
I know.
team.
But it would be fun. It'd be really bad if one of them.
I don't know if XFL or USSFL team would beat many college teams.
Oh my god, it's been bad. I watched some of the action. I use that
it's
term
not good.
loosely.
Yeah.
Action. Richard Sherman, Jason Kelsey. I don't know if that means that he's got traded or what the hell's going on here. But an alert here. Oh, they're doing a draft show.
Oh.
Well, maybe they got. I don't know. Maybe they came back in the league and all of a sudden they're. I don't want to listen to them. Yeah, if they take, if they went with Hutchinson here, I don't think really it's a bad pick for him. If they went with Trayvon Walker, I don't think it's a bad pick for him. My philosophy, like I said, their defense is so bad and it's so little as far as quality that, yes, adding a player like that helps their defense, but I don't think it helps their team necessarily overall. I think at this point, load their offense up, and then maybe for the rest of the draft, I mean, even with their second round pick, it wouldn't be a horrible idea to take the best receiver available.
Yeah, that'd be okay getting another
I think they
receiver.
spent enough money on receivers that, I
Yeah,
mean,
they overspent for what
Oh,
they got.
right. That's that was going to be my point. Is they,
I'm not saying Christian Kirk isn't going to be a quality player in this league, but my God,
he's
not
going to
that
be a
good.
quality player, but he's not.
they would have been better off doing the deal to get Devontae Adams then.
Yeah. Well, he's not on the phone, so.
Yeah.
Oh, they just picked it up. I wish when you're watching the draft they wouldn't show the guys until after they've been chosen.
Yeah.
So I like the element of surprise when you find out. Then you see them all happy. I don't want to see them all, hey, I'm happy on the phone. Then like, and with a pick.
Right.
Well, I think it was really funny is you get like all of a sudden you're like that guy. All of a sudden, hey man, you're on TV. Like all of a sudden they pick up their phone. Everyone's thinking, oh, they're getting picked, and it's just George from down the street saying he saw him on the TV. Yeah. Hey Trayvon, saw you man. How's it going? How you been? What's going on? What's new with you?
I do like the ill-timed photographs, like with Russell Wilson and his ex-wife when he was drafted.
Oh jeez. Best draft one is Joe Thomas out in the boat fishing.
Pick is in.
The pick is in.
Let's see. It'd be funny if we're all wrong.
So just so you guys know, we always go quiet as the commissioner comes up. So none of us will say a word, and then the pick will be announced. Oh, we're not there. We got Susie Keebler here. She's not making the pick. So I got that out of here. So after this pick is in, what's next?
Just checking out the furniture.
The Jaguar room isn't.
AEW.
Oh, there's Tony Khan. Would be hilarious if they had like CM Punk or John Moxley comes out and makes the pick. These are names you don't know who they are, do you?
Jungle Boy.
Adam Cole, baby.
It'd be funny whoever the pick is walks out with it go.
Speaking of, while we're talking AEW here, I saw that CM Punk's gonna be fighting Hangman for the championship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Hangman's gonna just destroy him.
It makes more sense. Punk's just there to put over other younger guys now.
I mean, personally, I'd rather see Adam Cole and Hangman go at it one more time.
That was a good match.
Adam Cole's a phenomenal athlete. He's actually the picture of Adam Cole is when you call me, Adam Cole pops up. There was a resemblance at one time, I thought, so. It was between that.
There's something wrong with you, man.
I mean,
when he calls me, a picture of him shows up.
yeah. What?
All right. So
I thought it'd be fun to go to one of these drafts. The more they show the crowds and stuff, I'm not interested.
you get an insight in for whoever got picked before it even got announced?
Yep.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on delay, so so I don't look at my phone or the draft.
Yep. I know who the first pick is.
This is that far behind?
Uh-huh.
How?
Because it's a satellite feed. Happens. Time to beam up. Beam back down.
But wouldn't the phone be the same thought process with that?
Nope, it's quicker.
Trayvon Walker.
Again, like I said
Yep.
in the pre-draft, they went with a hype guy. Not that he's a bad player.
No, but like, Balky is that kind of, he likes those kind of guys.
Yep.
Right.
So I know the owner wanted Hutchinson, Balky wanted Trayvon, so it was an argument.
Could
there.
they be any more excited? Please tell me this is a massive delay and they haven't heard him announce it yet. Because there's like very little motion going on right here. He's already demanding a trade.
Why isn't Detroit's pick in already?
Yeah, apparently they've been on the clock for freaking 4 minutes.
Yeah. I mean,
Seriously, he just got made the first overall pick, and all they're just sitting there, they're kind of like just smiling.
Yeah, I mean,
Like there's zero emotion.
well, if you're going to Jacksonville, how happy would you be?
I don't know. I mean, you're going to be the highest paid player in this whole thing. I mean, wouldn't you be less excited about that?
There it is. Pick is in.
Pick is in. So Malik Willis, or how disappointed are you if it says Sauce Gardner?
I'm actually, the only disappointment I'm going to have with the Lions pick is if it's a quarterback.
Yeah.
Sauce Gardner I'd be okay with.
Gardner's actually a really good corner. I mean, he's and the thing about him, probably the difference between him and Stingley, is like he's nasty, man. He'll go up and make
Yeah,
tackles,
he's got
and
that.
Stingley's almost too
Swagger.
flashy, and there's too much hype around Stingley in that 2019.
If Hutchinson would have gone 1, I would have loved for Detroit to grab Gardner. But
Yeah.
they need pass rush.
Like Stingley's numbers for the last 2 years don't even match 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, Booger McFarland up here right now. You know, they had him with number 1. You know, maybe this is gonna be a turning point for them. Maybe they'll have some free agents will want to come there now, and you know, if I'm Jacksonville, like I said, maybe go defense with that second round pick, and who knows, they might jump back in there.
Yeah, I've heard that they might jump back into the first round. Kansas City might trade up or jump spots because they have a ton of picks this year, but they only have so many roster spots in that team.
Yeah.
I will say this about Jacksonville while we're on the subject. I could see them in this spot again next year.
And for the next 5 years.
Well, at least next year. I don't know if
they'll be in the 1 spot. I
They're-
think that's going to be
Atlanta,
Atlanta,
top 5 for sure.
Cleveland.
They're not improved enough.
Carolina, maybe.
Yeah.
Carolina's better than no.
Their defense is good enough to accidentally win
If
the
everyone's
games.
if people stay healthy in Carolina, I think they're fine.
Yeah. Stay healthy, the whole team. Especially running backs that were number 22.
Overrated.
People that overtrade for people wearing number 22.
That's why I hate the number 22.
He doesn't have a pick in the first round of our fantasy draft till 2024. At least it's the year that it's the less keeper year.
Yeah.
Here we go. Detroit Lions. Your phone didn't go off.
I put my phone down there.
Okay. Aiden
Okay,
Hutchinson.
good. Oh.
Is he happy about this or is he upset, you think?
I mean, is that family there?
I mean, he's actually from the state, right?
Yeah. I think so.
I mean, what do you think that war room was like in Detroit when Trayvon Walker went first?
It was hands
Probably
down.
ecstatic. I mean, he had to
They had his name on a card ready to go.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a email up, send.
So I guess really the first 2 picks were kind of like
Chalk.
at this point. I guess the draft starts.
Yep, this is where
It's going to get
it gets
interesting.
weird.
This is where it's going to start expanding out. I don't know if
Yeah.
things are going to come flying in. Because right now here in Houston, you could have Sauce Gardner, you could have Thibodeau, you could have one of the offensive linemen going right here. I don't think a quarterback would go here.
No.
Although I could see Houston in this draft still taking a quarterback.
No.
No? You think they're just going to let Davis Mills...
I think it's
Yeah.
going to be Davis Mills this year. Davis Mills showed some last year.
He had some good games last year for being on.
Watch, that's the number he's going to wear during the season.
I don't think anyone else has 97 anymore, so he should be good to go. 7 would be kind of cool.
He's a player. I'm not personally high on Hutchinson necessarily. I could see him getting moved to more of an outside linebacker. There's something about him that just I look at him and he just doesn't look big enough to me. I don't know. I mean, that sounds a little weird. I know how his stature falls out. He's like what 6'5",
Yeah.
something like that. Like 260. 250?
He's about the same size as Bosa, but
That's the weird
Bosa
thing is
looks
he's
big.
He is. He's the same size. He's the exact same size as both Bosa's, except he looks so much scrawnier to me. Like Nick Bosa looks like he's a Incredible Hulk next to this guy.
I think ceiling. It's hard to call if he has a ceiling or not, but I think he's not going to be a bad player.
But here's the thing: he is tremendously quick off the ball, but he's not playing against the Wisconsin left tackle in the NFL. So a lot of your guys, I mean, is he going to be able to?
Yeah, but that's a bad argument because you can say every player gets drafted. Well, they weren't playing against NFL caliber players.
Right.
They aren't.
I don't know. You could say the same thing like you get like high school, like people like, oh, this guy's a 5-star recruit, and they look horrible in college. There's a massive difference between going from high school to college. It's like there's a massive difference going from college to the pros. Is he gonna be a bust? I don't think so. But I just don't know if I would have personally taken Thibodeau over Hutchinson. Personal preference, I guess.
I take Hutchinson over Thibodeau for the same reason you said. Thibodeau has been known to take plays off.
That is,
and
but that's
with the Dan Campbell ran defense. Dan Campbell's not going to allow Thibodeau to do that. If he does, he's going to be on the bench.
And he said he doesn't need coaching.
Who?
Thibodeau.
Oh.
He said, I don't need coaching.
Yeah. So with Dan Campbell, he'd be a bad pick.
Yeah.
Because Dan Campbell would sit him on the bench, and then what good is that pick?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The one thing you can say about Thibodeau, you look at his size, though. I mean, he looks intimidating.
You look at his size?
And you can't teach that. Speaking of AEW, did you hear he's coming next week? Yeah. MJF is paying them 6 figures to come beat Wardlow.
No one's going to defeat Wardlow.
I bet Hangman could.
Nope.
Here we go, wrestling again, sorry.
I know.
So Texans pick is in. Last minute. I guess I'm going to say Thibodeau.
I'm going to Kwanu here. Give Davis Mills some protection. Davis Mills doesn't pan out. You got the tackle for the next quarterback.
I can't argue either of those.
I mean, at this point, I know I gave what my predictions were, but you're going to start
Mine
seeing
are different now.
Mine will start changing as this thing goes.
Right.
Like it'll be ever evolving.
I still have. I hit my first 2, so Aquanu's still the guy I picked here. So.
But Texans are another team. I think is another one you could still see in this position next year, in that top 5 picking. I don't think no matter who they pick right here,
it's going to change.
Overall, their team is not. I mean, they're closer than Jacksonville is. I will say that.
Commissioners at the podium.
Commissioners at the table. At the table. Podium.
Whoa.
Wow. Derek Stingley Jr.
Wow, didn't see that one coming.
I mean, I heard about it, but I didn't believe it.
Huh.
I mean, it's...
Interesting. Like, I can't fault it, but...
I mean, he's a good player.
Yeah. That's what I was expecting.
Why would you not... Okay, why would you not take Gardner over Stingley? If you want corner, fine.
I have heard arguments that Stingley is better, but I don't know.
It's all based off 1 year.
Yeah.
They won't let the 2019 go. Like, no, it's like... It's
well,
like
you could say the same thing about Pickett. He had 1 good year. And you make the point all the time of where's the competition?
Here, there's a difference.
So Malik Willis, where's the competition?
Here's the difference between the
And
scenarios.
they're the top 2 quarterbacks in the league.
Mm-hmm. Pickett is here now. Pickett's numbers were now. This was based off 2 years ago.
Watch the tape.
So he declined as a player as opposed to improved as he went. Pickett improved as his college career went, whereas Stingley declined.
Obviously, the scouts still think he's a high player. He might have just...
Like, all the footage they show of him is... I have not seen one yet. I have not seen one bit of footage off the last 2 years. Every footage they show of this guy is from 2019. And the reason I know that is because he wore 24 in 2019. He's wore 7 since.
So, here's... You're a big history guy, right? So, Revis.
By the way, the Jets are up.
Amazing cornerback, right? So, his stats when people were throwing his way And then people stopped throwing his way because he was too good. Maybe this guy's the same way. You don't see any highlights from him because they stopped throwing his way.
Well, you got to play a game. You got to be in the game first, though, too.
Right.
I think he played the full season. I think he only played 7 games each year the last 2 years.
Injury.
So then that becomes another question. So why wouldn't you take the guy that's healthy, good to go, is going to come in there, be nasty when the ball's run. He's going to stick receivers. Yeah, he's not as much of an interceptor maybe as Stingley, but
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just trying to make a point. I'm trying to be an advocate for Houston, which is rare for me to do.
I think part of it could be is Lovie Smith is old school, so we thought that Gardner was more flashy and just like.
It's the other way around. Gardner's less flashy than Stingley. Stingley's like came out and he's already like he said like the other day I heard him in an interview said he's coming out he's already the best corner in the league. So how's that not flashier than Gardner? Gardner, I've seen the footage of Gardner. Gardner will stick in there on run support and he will take down the running back. Mm-hmm. The only footage I see of this guy is he's high pointing a ball off 6 interceptions he had in 2019. He hasn't had 1 interception since.
Maybe they just liked his interview better.
I don't know. I think this is the reason, like I said, Houston is going to be in this situation again next year. They are going to be in the top 5 picking for sure. Yeah, I'm going here, and I will say this right now. Now, things could change, of course, but they got a lot of redeeming to do on their second pick.
I say they'll be 6th.
The 6th overall pick. All right.
You better write that down.
Mark it.
No, don't get me wrong. I don't agree with
Jeff's pick is in.
I don't
sauce,
agree with.
Right?
I think this is sauce.
Thibodeau.
Nope,
Thibodeau.
sauce.
H is silent.
Thibodeau. And I'm not talking the coach that used to be for Chicago Bulls.
He wasn't very good.
Actually, he was also in Minnesota, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, just so you guys know, we're doing a commercial here. Apparently, what is commercial is this? I got guys in front of his house. Looks like Tony and
It's the guys from that show.
I don't know this show. Well, it's a T-Mobile commercial.
It was a good show. The Doctors.
Oh, I've never seen it.
I can't remember what it's called.
Speaking of TV, have either one of you checked out Winning Time?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's worth it. It's a good look. Good show.
The guy that plays Magic's from Muskegon.
I'll tell you this. I will tell you this right now about that show. It's completely. I don't know how dead on it is. I know there's a lot of some that is accurate and some is not. For example, they have some of the games. They have game playing. I haven't checked out the games, and the games are wrong in a lot of them. They had them one where I think they had them losing to Detroit, and that didn't happen in real life. So they did change a few things which it does say it's obviously still a
Dramatized.
Yep. But there are certain things that take place that really did happen in real life. However, I will say it has changed my thoughts of Magic. I looked up to this, just like if you guys know, Magic Johnson was who I wanted to be growing up, and it's completely changed my outlook on who he is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was.
I wanted to be Dominique Wilkins.
He wasn't as clean cut, I guess, as I thought he was.
I wanted to be Spud Webb.
Physically, you're.
That's why I like Spud Webb.
Physically, you're only 2 inches shorter than him.
We were the same height. Spud Webb was 5'6".
Yeah.
Really, I didn't know you were that tall.
Muncie's 5'3".
Really, I thought you were closer to 5'2". So okay, so again, I'm going with
Jeff's pick is in.
Thibodeau. You're going with Sauce.
Yeah.
Sauce.
All right.
Staying with my original pick.
All around, we're going defense. And watch is gonna be Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. Thibodeau was my mock, but I feel like it's Sauce now.
You know what? It is the Jets. I wouldn't throw Malik Willis out of the consideration here.
No pun intended.
What is it, NWO? This guy's gonna throw 4 life up there, or?
You and your bad wrestling.
By the way, this is not NWO. This is the sign of the click. I hate when people NWO and they throw this up. It's not the same thing. It was a ripoff of the click. It's like the NWO is a complete ripoff of DX, even though DX came second.
It's all a rip of something in the wrestling past.
All right, here we go.
Sky Moore.
Sauce Gardner.
I have got
Back-to-back corners.
3 out of 4 correct so far.
I didn't figure I'd have any, so I'm not paying attention.
I mean, this isn't a horrible pick.
No,
I'm not
I
gonna
like
knock
this pick.
I like him.
This guy should have won a pick ago. I will say that.
I
He should be
agree
sitting
with
in
you.
Houston right now. Well, not right now. He's in Las Vegas, but he
So-
should be on his way to
So
Houston
now
right
that he's
now.
with the Jets, now they got 2 good corners, and Michael Carter, the second, and Sauce. So they're building their
He went the
secondary.
wrong way. You know, I
See,
wasn't.
that's why Houston didn't take him. He can't even. He doesn't know which way to go.
Oh.
He was like, left side of the field. Your left or my left?
I guess that is a. I guess that. The Giants are up next, by the way, but yeah, the Jets are building something there. I mean, I think Zach Wilson could be decent. I wasn't high on him coming out of college necessarily.
Like, I thought he might be something, but the only thing that concerns me is how well Mike White played while he was out.
Yeah.
And he wasn't that good.
But the one game Mike White had, what did he do? Dump it off to the running back the entire game.
I will say this.
Michael Carter, that game I remember because I'm a fantasy owner of Michael Carter. Michael Carter had 15 targets and 10 receptions in that game.
I will say this. Zach Wilson is ahead of where Sam Darnold was, which is, I guess, already an improvement right there.
Who?
Sam Darnold?
Who was the first guy?
Huh?
Who did you say the first guy?
I said Zach Wilson
Zach, oh, okay.
is ahead of where Sam Darnold was with the Jets.
I thought you said Sam Wilson.
Isn't that Falcon?
Yeah.
Have you watched Moon Knight, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
Have you? Is it
Haven't
worth
seen-
watching? I have not watched it yet.
I haven't watched it either.
It's weird. Like, it's if you don't have anything else to watch, it's not as... It's a strange...
Just so you guys know, unfortunately, during this thing, because if we have dead air time, you'll hear random questions come up. So we're kind of... It's about the draft, but we throw out other things there, too. So
It's been my least favorite Marvel
Disney.
show so far,
Okay.
but it's also different.
next month, is it Obi-Wan comes out?
Yes.
Okay. Excited for that one.
They're
Obi-Wan
supposed to
Kenobi.
have some sort of creature that rivals Grogu.
Oh. Is it Jawa? Well, Jets fans look happy. And like I said, I don't think you can go wrong with Sauce Gardner. I think he's a complete player.
Like, I was just trying to defend Houston. I think Sauce Gardner's a better corner than Stingley.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we go to New York
Yeah.
Giants. This has
I'll
got.
still-
I'm gonna go Thibodeau. I think you're gonna hear me say Thibodeau until he's drafted at this point.
This is
Because
where I
once he
have
drafted, then you'll give him Thibodeau?
yeah, this is where I have Thibodeau going. Is right here.
I'm going to say... Probably it has got to be Thibodeau. What if the Giants are like, Malik Willis?
No way. I mean, you know what's? Well, they would do the. If they're gonna do quarterback, they're gonna wait till their second pick, and they're gonna move back to do it.
Why? If Carolina's there, they could take him.
Yep.
No way, they're taking. Oh, they had to show this again.
No, it just happened again. He's just going to walk around in a big circle.
Hey, at least he's showing his speed now.
Still looking for the stage.
Is this seriously? This can't be. This is God. He seriously hasn't made his way out there yet?
No, they're going back because they didn't show it the first time.
Oh, okay. I'm like, all this time, he's just roaming the halls. All right, so.
Just what we said in the pre-draft defense.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, the first offensive name you're going to probably hear is going to be a receiver. Well, an offensive lineman should be the first offensive player you see. And this could be an offensive lineman here as well. Although I did hear, who was there talking that, something about the Giants were talking about that there is a player that they were looking at that's like a three-point shooter. I didn't get the reference. I wasn't sure if that just means the guy's going to score a lot. So I don't know if that meant a
Kicker.
receiver or if they're looking at kicker here. I was trying to figure out the reference.
It's got to be Thibodeau, Charles Cross, or Malik Willis.
Icky would be Ickey's the best run blocker, I think, of the group, isn't he?
Oh, I forgot. They didn't draft him. Yeah, Icky, not Cross then.
And even Evan Neal would go before Cross as well.
Yeah.
Pick is in for the Giants.
Yeah. I mean, they can't say the pick is out.
So Tony, he was able to acquire the second overall pick in our fantasy football draft. Are you looking at any of these guys that had just gotten drafted for your second overall pick?
I do value defense quite a bit in our fantasy league. I do.
So are you taking Trevon Walker with the second overall pick in our fantasy draft?
No, because he's not a linebacker.
Okay. Are you taking Aiden Hutchinson with the second overall pick in our fantasy draft?
No, because he's not a linebacker.
Okay. Are you taking Sauce Gardner or Stingley?
No, because they're not safeties.
Okay. So we know these players are going to be available when I pick a 3.
Yeah. Yeah, any one of them.
Well, Mark might take him.
Oh, yeah. Mark's known to pull draft picks.
Raheem Mostert.
Oh, come on. He's going to...
Who is that?
It's got to be one of the Merritt grandkids or something. This kid's like a little overly excited.
Oh, I read about this. It's a Make-A-Wish thing.
Oh man, I don't even feel bad.
That was my idea.
Seriously?
No, it's a Make-A-Wish thing.
So this kid's dying? Well, so he's in good shape then. Oh, the camera's not.
He's in better shape than I am.
Like 14. Increase the volume like two spots.
Kayvon Thibodeau.
Not surprising.
Finally got that outside pass rusher to replace.
You know, I don't like this pick because now we don't get to hear Eric mispronounce
I know.
Thibodeau.
I mean, there's always the draft, or at least one more. Some of the Drake could take him.
All right, so now we got the Carol. Okay, first of all, this is the best player in the draft, in my opinion. You know, I could see him being the defensive rookie of the year. He's going to make that defense so much better. Of course, they still have another pick coming up. I think if they're smart, you know, maybe add another defensive player. Load that defense. Make it the Giants' defense of the 80s. But offensive line wouldn't be bad for their next pick either.
I think they go offensive line with the slide of the tackles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The fact that we still have Aquano and Neal still available.
Yeah, they have to go.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, good point. Because there's really nothing else that's really dropped. So we do have the Panthers.
They're calling every team right now. Are you sure you don't want this pick?
I think the Panthers take Aquano,
Yeah.
which was my third overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take quarterback here.
No.
I mean, I'm not a Panthers fan. I'm just saying if I was them, I would take anything but quarterback here.
Mm-hmm. There's other spots of need that are more.
Their offensive line is
They're still
junk.
paying. What's his name? 2 gloves. Like they're still paying him. He's not on the team anymore. Bridgewater.
Oh, Teddy Bridgewater.
You know, the other quarterback in the league that wears 2 gloves besides Pickett. Small hands. Connie's.
I mean, other things I could see them going, you know, they could add another wide receiver.
He's going to kill that kid.
I think I'd draft this kid, I think, over.
He's got more chutzpah than he does.
Next year, yeah, it's just Giants punter right there.
If I'm Houston, I'm asking for this kid. Can we trade him out for?
How much for the boy?
No, I think that's cool. That kid. I will say this. You know, when they always bring these fans up there, I want to see one time. They've never happened. I want to see a fan come up there and announce it and be like, "Seriously?"
And just be like, oh.
Really? Like, they all come up and they're like, yeah, they're
They'll
all
just
like,
walk off.
they have to be told. They have to be told that no matter what,
Yeah.
you have to be, like, enthusiastic. Oh, let's go. I don't know, whatever their Panther up or whatever their thing is.
Yeah. Carolina's taking their time on this pick, though.
As they should. I mean, they probably are trying to venture all. I mean, I've heard scenarios where the Jets move up. I've heard the Eagles moving up.
Yeah.
Of course, the Eagles wanted to move up for Thibodeau.
I heard like that New Orleans is even looking at moving down. Why would you trade up for those picks than to trade down?
Yeah, that I heard that too, and I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Well, it depends how much you're acquiring, and
Unless the player you're shooting for is available and you can move up to guarantee you get it.
Yeah.
so right now we just went to commercial, folks, just so you guys are aware. The Panthers are still on the clock. The one nice thing about when they go to commercial, the ticker still goes, and it'll say the pick is in. Unfortunately, when the pick is in, even when they come back, it's like another 5 minutes, I swear, before they announce it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, today is one of my today or this weekend. It's one of those days of the year. It's both one of my favorites and both one of my least favorites. So my least favorites, I look so forward to the draft and seeing who the players were, being able to do this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite because it happens. Plus, I don't have to read everyone else's mock drafts. I don't have to keep doing my own mock drafts.
It's kind of like Christmas.
And August is my Christmas. That's when all my drafts are. That's what I gone for.
Yeah.
This is like Christmas Eve.
Oh, okay.
But it's just like I'm so tired of mocks and like who's going to wear and who plays better when they had spaghetti for their team dinner.
Oh, here we go, right here.
Like
This is the magic.
like the point you were making, Guy. You know, August is my Christmas. So like these picks that are coming out now, they're not really exciting for me because they don't have fantasy relevance.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I completely look at. Oh, by the way, the pick is in for the Panthers, but we're still at commercial. Where I differ is, I would actually consider this more because, as much as I enjoy fantasy, I still value the actual football over fantasy.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It sounds weird. I would rather see the Dolphins win the Super Bowl than me win our fantasy league.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
I mean, you have a much better chance of winning the fantasy trophy.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So loosely translated, you're saying is I should be the Dolphins GM.
Wouldn't be any worse. Although I do like their coach. He's very. Have you seen interviews with him at all?
Uh-uh.
He's very like eclectic, I guess I'd say. He's very like a hey dude kind of dude. He doesn't seem like a coach. Doesn't act like a coach, like stereotypical coach.
So he's more of a player's coach.
Yeah.
Well, some would say Urban Meyer wasn't a normal coach either.
Oh, finger guns?
I mean, nothing better than after a game in Cincinnati, let the team fly back and just chill out with your girl at the bar. Although it's not your wife, but
Yeah, someone's a girl.
all right, we're back from commercial now. So Panthers, so obviously they're drafting, they're not trading. So what do you think? I think I go offensive line if I'm them.
I think that's their best decision.
Yeah.
But there is a likelihood this is quarterback too.
I don't.
So I guess here's one way to look at it. Is it either offensive line or quarterback?
Offensive line.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is, are those? Is that what it's going to be? It's either going to be a quarterback or it's going to be an offensive
Yes.
line.
Yes.
It's not going to be anything else. Is what I'm
No.
saying.
Better not be a running back.
I mean, a receiver would not be a bad choice here.
Not.
I don't
No.
think they need it.
I mean, you got DJ Moore. The problem is the guy on the other side.
Terrace Marshall?
I was thinking Robbie Anderson.
Oh.
And I'm not high on Darnold. However, give him another year. I mean, just of anything, there's a better quarterback crop next year.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're going to struggle, you're going to be in a similar situation. Now, I think they're going to be better than
You're
this next
probably
year.
going to hear us say that a lot. There's better quarterback crop next year.
Man, there's going to be a lot of trades next year for those top picks. certain teams up there. So I'll give you 4 first-rounders.
They're showing Kenny Pickett, who I think is the best quarterback in this draft. And I think he's the only
Probably the best hair.
game-ready quarterback they have in this draft right now. I mean, he can go in and start for pretty much anyone right now. If there was I'm not saying anyone. I shouldn't say he's not going to go into Green Bay and start over Rodgers. What I meant is he could go in and be a starter right now if need be. Whereas Malik Willis is nowhere game-ready. I mean, he's kind of like Trey.
Are they going to run out of time?
Trey Lance might have been more game-ready coming in than Malik Willis. No, the pick's already been in. The Giants are already on the clock. Here we go. They took Icky. Good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Good choice.
How many people are like, what?
Oh, I'm sure there's Panthers fans that are probably like, mad about this. But
I don't. Me being a Charger fan last year, they drafted Slater, and I love the pick. Let's protect our quarterback. In this case, they don't have their quarterback yet, but now they have the tackle. He can learn how to play the game for a year. Next year, they got a better quarterback crop.
And who's the best player on their team?
McCaffrey.
He is a
running back.
This is the best run-blocking offensive lineman there is in this draft.
And how many games have McCaffrey played in 2 years?
He's up there with Stigley.
Good point.
What's his average points per game? 30 plus?
Huh? You talking Carolina?
McCaffrey fantasy points.
Oh,
yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying McCaffrey's a bad
30
player. He
plus
just
in our
needs
league
to be
is
on the
very
damn
good.
field.
On his bad days, that's what he gets. He's like standard leagues.
I mean, I got tight ends that are doing triple that number.
In this league, that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark Andrews puts up that every game. Easy.
I have a tight end that'll probably put up those numbers.
I mean, I was getting 100-plus points
Not
off
anymore.
Dawson Knox when he was healthy.
No, my other one will.
Waller?
Waller? Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Who are you talking about? Oh, that's right. You traded him away.
Muth.
Oh, yeah. You got the move.
Oh, yeah. No shout out to Mark. All right, so next.
Yeah, he won't do that. He's going to have Kenny Pickett thrown to him.
So next we got the
Giants back on the board.
Giants next. I think
What did they take last time? I forget already.
they
Thibodeau?
took Thibodeau. So this is going to be probably Evan Neal,
Yeah.
who there's no way someone thought was going to fall to 7.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else would be interesting here.
I mean, Cross would be the next other lineman considered.
I don't see them double down.
I mean, this could be a receiver.
I don't think the Giants need a receiver.
Yeah, it's got to be Evan Neal because no one else makes that much sense there.
Right.
Jordan Davis could. I mean, I don't think it's all the realm he moves up that far.
I don't think that far. I don't. That was my point.
Hamilton.
Maybe.
I think it's too early for Hamilton, honestly.
Excuse me.
We can rule out quarterback. We can rule out running back.
I wouldn't rule out a quarterback.
I wouldn't rule out running back.
Not at 7.
We're talking about the Giants.
If a team likes a guy, they will draft him where they have picks.
The Giants aren't that bad at picking.
Daniel Jones.
Who did the Dolphins draft that you had to apologize to everybody and their mother?
Yeah, by the way, he owes me an apology because he hasn't done anything yet.
I know.
I mean, they could go Jermaine Johnson. I mean, he almost give you bookends.
I don't think they double dip on edge rushers.
Yeah.
The team needs too much.
Mm-hmm.
This guy thinks Neal is the pick.
Yeah, this
No,
guy.
that's Vince Neal.
Oh, that guy's actually Vince Neil's bigger than most of the offensive linemen in this draft. I saw some recent pictures of him. He's not in good shape.
No.
He's looking rough. By the way, there's queso dip in case, my wife made it. You guys want to jump in there and get some of that queso?
I brought your dish back, but it's in my car.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to put it in my bag.
We got a guy wearing an LT jersey. The pick is in, by the way, everyone. We're just waiting on this. I swear to God, the old school, it used to be a lot quicker. When the pick was in, it was like in. Like they were up there saying it.
This is all done digitally now. Before they actually had someone there to hand it in a card.
Yeah. I miss the old way.
Yeah.
Everything was better back then.
Back when there was tables and a helmet.
I miss Goodell sitting in his basement.
Here we go. Evan Neal.
Yeah.
Well, if you're a Giants fan, you can't dispute this one.
No. They needed help there. I mean, the Giants, without moving out those picks, they got a really good defensive end, a really good offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Thanks Chicago for all this.
Yeah, good job. What's Fields done? Nothing yet.
What will Fields do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No,
Because
don't say that.
the Giants aren't going to draft for him. Or not the Giants, the Bears.
Falcons.
Okay, this might be a receiver spot. This could be a quarterback spot.
I think this is the first receiver. I don't think it's quarterback. I think this is the first receiver off the board.
If it's defense, Jordan Davis probably.
No, I think if they were going to go defense, it would be another corner if one of those two main guys lasted.
No, if one of those. But I'm saying what's available. You can't go by what.
No.
Because this would be too early for McDuffie to come up.
Yeah.
I think it's either I have Garrett Wilson down, but it could be Jameson Williams.
I think Jameson Williams. Because they're going to be awful anyway, so they don't need to rush him back from injury.
Yeah, that's. I think there's. Drake London is also considered, I'm sure, for the spot.
See, I think with the Atlanta, they need somebody with speed to stretch the field because they have hits for all the intermediate stuff.
Yeah.
So they need a deep threat.
They need someone.
And Wilson and Williams works for that.
Yeah. No, I think any of the names we just mentioned for receiver, you're not going to be upset with any of those picks. Part of me could see this being a quarterback too.
I don't.
No. I'd be shocked if it was.
I mean, in my opinion,
What it won't be as a lineman. It won't be an offensive
Atlanta
lineman.
needs a quarterback more than the Panthers do. At least Darnold is serviceable. Mariota is not.
Mariota will have a couple good games maybe, but he's going to be trash the rest of the time.
Yep.
Or injured.
This would be another team that wouldn't be a bad idea even to move back up into the first, at the end of the first, and draft a running back either.
Yes, that's one that I have slated in my off-the-wall mock that Atlanta actually moves back up into the second round or first round, and they're the team that gets Walker.
I've seen Mockton getting Walker in the second round.
Yep.
I mean, like the whole Patterson thing, it's working, I guess, but it's not.
And Patterson's like 34 years old too.
He's.
I mean, if he has been that good all along, he would have not waited until this year to finally someone figure out how to use him.
Yeah, it also seems like John Riggins. After 35.
He's like half a Debo.
I know, and he's still like 5 years younger than Keenan Allen.
Don't knock Keenan Allen.
You don't even have Keenan Allen anymore.
I traded him away last year because it was a 5-year year and I couldn't keep him. Didn't have room.
Who has him? Is it Brady?
Christina.
Brady.
Oh, yeah, Brady now.
By the way, welcome Brady Bailey. He took over Christina's team. And welcome Ian Rice. He took over Will's team. So
Yay.
welcome
Yay.
to the family. I know both are excited. I've texted a little bit with Brady. Actually met in person. I'll pick his in for Atlanta, by the way. Met in person with Ian. We sat down and had a good talk about the league and other good things going on. So On the side note with our league, following this, there'll be a subsequent stream about something that happened in our meeting, so you'll want to stay tuned for that later. That'll be a separate stream though altogether. So right now the Falcons are up.
I still can't believe they got Matt Ryan for a third-round pick.
I know, it's crazy.
I mean, personally, that's what I would have given for him. I mean, the guy. I mean, his age.
Yeah, I mean, I just assumed like he
Think
would
about
get
it.
more.
Randy Moss went for like a 4th or 5th round.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that people say, "Oh, they would get a first round." I don't know who on earth would give a first round pick for a quarterback that's pushing. He's upper 30s, right?
34.
Mid. Oh. But I mean, he's definitely declined. He's declining. I mean, there's no like Roethlisberger declined.
Yeah, but look at that offensive line he's going to.
Right. Oh no, it's definitely a better offensive lineman or line, and he's not. They're not going to look to throw the ball down the field. I mean, it's handed Taylor. I mean, your run is setting up the pass as opposed to the other way around. Again, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go Garrett Wilson.
That's what I got. I got Garrett Wilson.
Williams. Oh.
Drake
Ooh.
London, the receiver from USC. First receiver gone. Drake London.
I didn't see him being the first one taken.
I have him being taken at 15.
You know what, though? I mean, look,
Eagles.
like one thing we've talked about, all these receivers are interchangeable where they could have gone.
Yeah.
And you can't, this isn't a horrible.
He has one of the big receivers, too.
This isn't a horrible. Oh, Deion's there. Or is that Todd Gurley? There's someone that fell face of the earth. Todd Gurley. Drake London, though. I'm not a big SC guy. I don't really follow a lot of Pac-10, but I've heard a lot of good things about him.
Opposite Pittman.
What he had. So was he had. Did he have Darnold thrown to him for 1 year?
Yeah. I think so.
I like that comparison because I was a big Vincent Jackson fan.
Mm-hmm.
If he plays like Vincent Jackson, he's going to be a good player.
I thought even like a Mike Evans type.
That's the comp that I heard with him more often than.
Hold on. Which Mike Evans?
Bob's cousin.
Which Mike Williams? Are we talking the one that played for the Chargers?
Oh.
Are we talking the one that played for USC? That was like the Lions' first round pick 1 year.
Yeah, just the one that actually played in the league.
He played in the league. He actually had a good year with. He had one good year with what? Tampa. Oh, it's Phillip Rivers.
Look at that shot put.
Vincent Jackson.
Ironically, they show him the shot of against Atlanta. That's kind of funny. I'm not gonna knock this pick at all.
Nope.
No.
I think everyone pretty much had him going an offensive weapon here.
So I mean, they got a big physical receiver and a big physical tight end.
All right, here we go. Seattle. Does this go right down the wire because they're seriously considering trading out, or does this become Cross?
I don't see them trading out. I have Stingley down, so we all know he's picked.
Yeah.
I guess I'll stick with
I
mine.
got Cross. They don't need receivers.
Jordan Davis wouldn't be bad here. Hamilton wouldn't be bad here.
I'll stick with my corner from Washington.
McDuffie.
Yeah.
I think
him in state.
this is a Hamilton pick.
Very well could be.
Maybe Jermaine Johnson, edge rusher from Florida State.
Yeah.
They
Jordan
kind of
Davis. I like Jordan Davis here. I'm gonna go Jordan Davis.
I think it's too early for picks.
I mean, look, you could pretty much pull anything up. Oh, you know what? Here's one. What if they went with either Dean or Lloyd here? Because they just lost Wagner.
Yeah.
They let Wagner go. So what if they brought in one of those two guys to be his replacement?
It could be.
In that case, I think I favor Dean, but Lloyd. I think they're really close in my opinion.
I have Dean being drafted before.
So they're going to commercial here with 5 minutes to go on the clock. If anyone wants to grab anything, this might be a good opportunity to do it.
Might as well.
So we're going to step away. We're going to grab a quick bite here. So we'll be right back. We promise we'll be back before the pick is in.
Everyone's probably can't wait. Yeah, I think.
All right, I'm back, people. Tony will be here in a second. Some guys grabbing some queso and chips that my wife made. We're just actually, Guy and I were just kind of starting to talk about this possibility of Debo Samuels going to the Jets, and I said I don't know if they will. At this point, the way things are falling, they could get Wilson or Williams, it'd be a lot cheaper for him. And Guy, what were you going to say about that?
I said I don't think Debo goes anywhere. I think it was just play to get more money. I don't think San Francisco wants. I don't think what they can get in trade is worth what Debo can do for him.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. If like let's say they could just get straight up the 10th pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a win for. It's more of a win for the Niners.
Yeah.
Getting something that otherwise it's you're not going to get anything. If he just goes away. This is a spot I thought would have been a trade though, right here.
This pick, because this is the pick they got for Russell Wilson. I didn't see them trading out of this pick.
This is a weird. I don't know what to think of Seattle. It's like a weird situation because
I don't know what they're
like
taking
literally their
here.
whole face of their franchise has been changed.
Yep.
All right, here we go. He's
They
going to
have a
announce
face
it.
now.
Hmm?
They don't have a face of the franchise
Drew
anymore.
Lock. Charles Croft. Didn't I kind of say him?
Mm-hmm.
They want the tackle.
Nobody wants a quarterback.
All right, so now we got the Jets up. Could be a solid pick for them. I don't think they're gonna. This isn't gonna hurt them. It's gonna. I don't know what the Seattle seems like it's weird. It's like they seem like they should be better, but they have like the running back situation isn't great.
Mm-mm.
The receiver situation is okay.
I think.
I mean, you have DK Metcalf. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
DK Metcalf, Lockett, and then
But Lockett is aging.
Dwayne Eskridge running in the slot is going to be good.
You know, you're improving your offensive line. I think getting Noah Fant actually was big for him.
Oh, I forgot they got Fant in that trade.
He definitely helps. They've never had a good.
The defense is almost on a complete restructure. That's why if they would have went defense here, it wouldn't have been a horrible. It would have been another good thing because the Legion of Boom is pretty much, I think, officially gone.
Oh, that's gone. That doesn't
It's been
exist
gone for a
anymore.
while.
But I mean, I think every part now is actually gone because I think Wagner was the last holdover.
Well, the Legion of Boom wasn't linebackers. That was secondary. Wagner,
I always took it though it was the whole defense.
no, the Legion of Boom was the secondary.
Sherman and Earl, Chancellor.
Yeah, Chancellor.
I did like me some Cam Chancellor.
So did I.
So the Jets are up. So what they take it? So they took Sauce Gardner.
I think this is a
At
receiver,
this point, this has got to be a receiver because offensive line isn't going to make sense.
But I want to see the Deebo Samuel trade here.
We were just talking about it. I don't.
Well, guy
The only
made-
person that benefits
guy
really
made a
is the
point
Niners.
is we need the Deebo needs to go to a team that is going to use him. Somebody from the Kyle Shanahan tree. Well, guess what? Robert Saleh is.
But I thought that's what he doesn't want to do. Like he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to run the ball anymore. Like that was like one of the reasons he wants to leave San Francisco.
Also, after the Super Bowl, he said he wanted to be the first player to rush and receive 1,000 yards. So which is it?
I don't know. I heard one thing he complains is he doesn't want to get beat up running the ball anymore. Because if you think about it, he was getting his ass handed to him on every play. Excuse my language.
What he needs to do then is learn to run out of bounds.
I don't know. He's getting like a negative attitude about him because he's doing this. And the thing is, he could be beloved there.
Mm-hmm.
It's, oh, okay. I was like totally confused by what's going on here. I thought there was a trade that just took place.
What, Jamal Adams being traded back to the Jets?
All right, the pick is in for the Jets. I really think it's a receiver here. They look excited for whoever they're getting. I'm sure it's a Buckeye, no matter what. And which, of course, is reason for anyone to get excited. All right, I'm going to say Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
Jameson Williams.
And it'll be
John Menchie.
I think with...
Sky Moore.
I mean, can you imagine that receiving core with Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson, the speed that you have there, and then Corey Davis, the big target? Corey Davis doesn't need to be the superstar. He can just do...
Mm-hmm. I kind of don't want
Corey
him to take
Davis isn't a
receiver.
superstar to begin with.
Well,
I kinda
that's
don't want him-
what they're paying him for.
I don't want him to take a receiver just because I have Elijah Moore in my fantasy team.
That's why I want the Deebo Samuel trade, because I have Ayuk on my fantasy team.
And I don't know if a receiver makes him better or irrelevant.
I think at this point, offensive linemen are going to kind of drop for a while. You're not going to see one for a little bit.
No, after Cross, there's...
Would be, but I don't think you're going to get one till maybe closer to the 20 range. It's going to be receiver heavy now.
Yep.
Receiver heavy. Hamilton could be next. And then I don't think you're going to see much in the defensive backs for a little bit. I think you're going to start getting more into the linebackers. I Here we go. Pick is in.
Garrett Wilson.
Well, I guess I'm getting a Jets jersey. I'm happy with it.
That might be worse than Ohio State jersey.
Technically, I do have an Ohio State jersey. I do have a Buckeye 5 jersey. I think it's a good pick for them. I think it's a good place for him to go. Zach Wilson
Gets another weapon.
just got better. For him to fall this far, I think a lot of people have him going higher.
I don't think he really fell, though. Honestly, I don't. I mean, he went... The first receiver spot available, really, is Atlanta. Atlanta took Drake London, so he fell to the next available spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that a fall. I just
No, if he fell to like 15 to the Eagles, then that would be a
Right.
little different.
So, I will go on record right now, right here, barring Garrett Wilson getting picked first or second overall in our fantasy football draft, he will be the third pick in our AFL fantasy football draft in 2022.
so we'll take him just because.
You heard it here, you heard it right now.
Well, I hold the second pick, and I won't take him, so it's all up to Mark.
You heard that. I don't know, you think Mark would do it just to...
No.
No. I would trade up to do it just to.
Well, man, Mark wouldn't do it because that's too high quality a player to draft there.
Good point. Here's a question. Are you getting the green or the black?
Oh, I get the green.
The white.
I hate the... Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do like the white. I have a lot of whites, though.
But they have like a weird orange or yellowish one.
No.
Sure.
Not that I know if they have
I
black.
wouldn't get into it.
You're thinking the Dolphins. They have a ugly ass one.
Whoa. We got a trade here, people.
Oh.
The
Commanders
Saints
tried to
and
pick
the Saints and the... And,
What are the Saints coming up for?
Williams. It's a good receiver.
And he probably would have been there.
I don't think he would have been there at their... so they're at what?
I think Houston.
They were 16, weren't they? 17?
16 to 19.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been there that far. They're coming up for receiver Williams for sure. Unless they're coming for a quarterback.
But there's no team that would take a quarterback in that.
But the thing is, Minnesota wants to fall backwards. What if Pittsburgh wanted to come up? What if they're going for Pickett right here? Because I heard the possibility of Steelers coming up. And Minnesota does want to go back. Houston would be okay with going back. I still think it's a receiver. But I would not be shocked if it was...
Either quarterback.
I think it'd be Pickett. I don't think Malik Willis is a year away, and that's what you would have. You're basically saying let Jameson Winston run the team for a year for the kid to learn behind him, and I don't think that works.
You don't have Sean Payton there anymore.
Yep, that's another good point to bring up. Pickett is game ready right now. There's no, what else? I can't think of anything else to come up for. It wouldn't be alignment at this point.
Let's see, they come up this far for Hamilton.
I'm trying to see if I can find out what they gave up.
I'm gonna say it's either, if it's not Williams, the only other receiver to come up this high would maybe be Olave. Because, and that's another thing, if a receiver, because we had talked about the possibility of it could be Hamilton. They just lost their safety in free agency, didn't they?
But how much How much did they have to give up to move
Yeah, that's
up
what I'm
that
wondering.
far to draft a safety?
But this guy at one point was considered the 4th overall player in the whole draft.
I still don't see you pull out a trade like this.
At one point, I think I remember seeing them thinking Hamilton would have been the 1st overall pick. I think I saw that scenario at one point. Oh, here you go, Tony. Just for wait, you have to have hair to use that first. On your beard.
Man, it's either got to be Hamilton, Williams, or quarterback.
Yeah.
Those are the only guys that we would
Yeah.
trade up
I
for.
think that's the only way you make this move.
I think it's for Hamilton. It's like
Well,
Houston
what
could take
they
him.
give up? We don't even know fully what they
Yeah.
give up. So if I mean, moving up for even Jordan Davis wouldn't be horrible. I mean, think about it. You got
don't think
Cameron
it
Jordan
helps.
is getting older. It wouldn't be horrible to bring in a younger replacement for Jordan Davis. I mean, they're not. I think Jordan
But look
Davis
at
is more of a
the-
D tackle.
You got to
but-
look at the teams in between there. What would the what? Why would they move up in front of these teams?
because whoever they want obviously was going to possibly go before 16.
Well, in that span is a lot of defensive back range. So Hamilton makes the most sense to me, but they do need receiver help too.
All right, let's go. I'm going to say it's Williams, Jamison Williams.
I'm gonna second that. I think they need.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Because Jamison Williams was not going to make. I don't think he would have made it to 16.
Unless, like you said, they were that worried about Pittsburgh jumping up in front of them to take
That's
their
quarterback.
quarterback.
All right, the pick's been in here for a while. It's one of those things, don't you think, when you make a trade for a pick, like, don't you pretty much already have, like, who you want? Like,
Right.
like should there really be a scenario where they gotta... Here's my question. You guys are talking about the reason it takes so long is because it's digital now. Why does that take so long? Shouldn't that even be faster then?
It should be.
Should be, but I mean, depends on who their internet provider is.
Probably using Verizon.
And that's why they take so long.
I know. I have Verizon. I hate it.
My cell service is fine, but I have their home internet. Not recommended.
You know what's funny is, maybe because I'm old, I don't know. I kind of miss that they just did it at Radio City Music Hall. You know, having this big elaborate thing is fine, I guess, but... Oh, jeez. What are these yahoos you got rolling out here? Is it Tony Gonzalez? Why is he making the Saints
Austin
pick?
Eckler.
Is that McCaffrey?
People are booing.
Leave it to a Chiefs fan to be named Moose.
Hey,
Congratulations, Tony Gonzalez. So he's making the pick.
for the Saints, you know, it makes sense.
You know, they beat the Saints when he played for the Falcons. How many times?
I thought Eckler would be bigger.
What?
I don't know. He looks small.
When you're staying next to Tony
Eckler?
Gonzalez,
Eckler's tiny.
He looks little next to all of them.
he is.
I guess I thought he was bigger than that.
No, Eckler's a little guy.
It's like you next to me.
Yes.
Get to the picks.
Oh my god. Why wouldn't they do this during one of their picks?
Yeah, it would make more sense.
Oh my god, you got back-to-back picks for the Chiefs. They could have done this whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, I know the Chiefs are going to win already. Just get on with it.
They are not. They're not even going to be first in their division.
Personally,
They're
I don't
gonna be
care.
third.
I don't even like
Me
the
too.
Saints, and I want to know what this
What?
damn pick
Me
is.
too.
This is ridiculous. This is just a waste of time.
I'm protesting the draft. Shut it off.
We're out.
Oh my god. I'm done with it.
This is going to be some random corner or something.
Tony Gonzalez. Chris Olave.
Wow.
They
Back
traded up to get him?
to wow, and why
Wow.
wouldn't you?
Because they could have gotten him at like 19.
Back-to-back Buckeyes.
Is that code?
He was my favorite receiver in this entire class. I actually love this kid. I wanted him in LA in a Chargers uniform. That's not going to happen.
And he gets to go be with a good mentor like Michael Thomas.
Oh! Oh!
Oh my God. The Lions have moved up, ladies and gentlemen. Detroit.
With the Vikings do
Wow.
an interconference
Okay.
trade.
Hamilton.
Pickett.
This is big. I don't think they move up to get a receiver.
Uh-uh.
Charles Rogers.
And they moved up a lot.
Yeah.
Mike Williams.
Their next pick was 32. They moved up
So
a
they
lot.
probably had to give up. They probably had to give up the 32nd pick, and they probably had to give up the second round,
Yep.
number 2.
Hamilton? I can't imagine they take the quarterback. Please God no.
I think they take a quarterback. You don't move up that far like the Bears did last year.
Yeah.
They moved up a ton to get Justin Fields.
Jordan Davis.
No.
No. They're not going to move
You guys
up
don't
that
like Jordan
far
Davis
for-
or something, don't you?
No, I don't have a problem with Jordan Davis. They're just not going to move
McDuffie?
from 32 to 12 to get a corner or a safety or a defensive lineman. They're not going to do it.
Well, that they wouldn't be
They
there.
just got a
32.
defensive lineman.
Well,
They're
but
not gonna double dip
they
on
got
that.
an edge rusher. They didn't get a down lineman.
You don't need a down lineman right now.
Goodbye, Jared Goff.
Somehow
Malik
the Lions
Willis.
still lying.
I got to go different from Eric. I'm going Malik
All
Willis.
right, pick it. Pick it.
Hamilton.
That would make. I mean, that would be a worthwhile move up. And the pick is in. Ajabu.
Shut up, Booger.
Ajabu. You really kiss up to the fans.
No.
His girlfriend's pissed. That means he's a lion. Look at, she's almost crying.
No, I don't think he. I don't think they look at this. They will.
Pickett is Goff. I see no difference
There's
in
the
them.
phone.
What if
He's
this?
not there.
Hold on.
Malik Willis is not there. He was sitting in the red chair.
Hold on. What if? Yeah, but you're telling me the whole rest of the people are going to be like all pumped up.
They
What-
don't know any answer.
what if
He
this
got
is-
up to answer the phone.
What if this is Jameis Williams?
It's not.
Jamison Williams.
It's not.
What?
They
them
just
getting
brought
a
in DJ
getting
Shark.
a top receiver wouldn't be a horrible thing.
They just brought in DJ Shark. They got him on.
They got a.
They,
it's not a- they're not going to trade up. They might take a receiver. They're going to trade up to get one.
no.
Phones are blowing up right now.
They're not looking.
Watch, all of a sudden we're all getting nominated. They're trying to get a hold of us because we're the pick.
That's not it.
Maybe it was a 3-for-1 deal. They got all three of us.
That sounds weird.
What? Oh.
Oh.
All right, come on. The pick's been in now at this point. And they wonder why the draft takes so long sometimes. It took longer back when the thing was 15 minutes per pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it took less time when it was 15 minutes per pick. It does surprise me that Minnesota... I mean, unless the Lions made him just a phenomenal offer.
Get him to the rest of the draft.
Oh.
Philly moved up to 13. What's going on?
3 straight trades?
Can we see, like, terms? Like, what was traded?
They get those later.
Let's see now.
There's the Trump building. Oh, here we go.
12.
12, 2020.
So the Lions still have the third... Oh.
No.
Get
12,
and they get the third
46.
pick.
But the Lions actually still got a second-round pick back on it.
Yeah. It's a lower
Yeah,
second round.
they're it's a lower pick.
So
They're
this
pick
the
12.
Lions actually, they stole this. I mean, you move up from 32.
They gave up 32, 34, and a third round.
I think the Lions make out better in this, depending how they do this.
Yeah.
Jermaine Johnson?
Quarterback.
Bookend it? Jameson Williams. I said that from the
Really?
start.
Wow.
I said that
Wow.
from the start.
Oh, 3 Ohio State quarterbacks back to back to back.
Just so you guys know, he was their Ohio State receiver for 2 years.
Wasn't a quarterback either.
Yeah.
Wow.
Someone said quarter. All right, so next up we got Philly. Philly moved up. So what's Philly moving up for?
Receiver.
Well, no, I mean, okay, so Philly had... So where was Philly sitting? They were still at 15 anyway.
Philly needs receivers.
They still have 15?
Uh-huh.
This has got to be... Okay, so whatever they're taking here, they had to get in front of Baltimore for. So they're thinking linebacker?
No. This is Hamilton.
Yeah, makes sense. Hamilton or Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson. I'm going to go Jermaine Johnson. And then they'll take at this point, it'd be what? Burks would be the next one?
I think so.
Burks or Watson? Oh, no, Houston's got 15. They just changed it. So, okay, now that we see that information, that does change my mindset. This could be a receiver.
I think it's Houston. Or Hamilton. I don't think... Why would Baltimore take a receiver? Look at what Baltimore's got. They got Bateman. They got Hollywood. And they got...
Yeah, but they still always talk about how they need to get him this receiver. So
They don't need to get him a receiver. I mean, Bateman came on last year. At the end of the year, Lamar was throwing...
all right, I'm going to say Jermaine Johnson right here. The defensive pass rusher from Florida State.
It could be if they thought Baltimore would take him. Or middle finger to Hurts and some Willis.
Your Lions fans for you. Three receivers in a row. It'd be hilarious if it was 4. And what's amazing is not one big name Kurt player has been traded yet. How's the queso?
Good.
Good.
Very good.
The pick is in. But we're at commercial, so we won't get it for
Pick
a
has
while.
been in. Oh, here's that winning time. Oh, that's like a whole bunch of different things they're doing. And my wife, she asked me some goofy at our TV upstairs. I might have to go up there and look. And he's asking. Have you watched that new Batman movie yet? Either one of you?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Is it worth watching, or I haven't watched it yet?
I'd watch it, but I'm not a big fan of it.
I was waiting, you know, if I watched it, I'd be waiting the entire time for Batman to start twinkling. Because we all know vampires twinkle in the sunlight.
Mm. But you were a fan of that show, weren't
I
you?
hated that freaking.
I've never seen one, but I bet Tony has.
I've seen them all, and they're all torture.
Well, someone said that about it.
That's actually good. Except the second one was alright. I have a big problem with them remaking The Crow. Leave that alone.
I hope it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, or if you can do it, get Steve Borden.
Well, they've already signed up Bill Skarsgård.
Real, I would want Steve Borden myself. Way better Crow.
I hate it here.
You know, some people would say he's a man called Sting. How about those American males?
You and your bad wrestling references.
The funny thing is, at least he gets some of it.
Yeah.
I get none of it.
I didn't want to, though.
Oh, geez. So, let's see. We got Baltimore's up next, and then Houston. Houston moved back. I mean, I think they're trying to just acquire more picks anyways at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who did they take first overall? Well, they went with Stingley.
I think I think Houston would take a defensive Jermaine Johnson.
Oh, I'd say the next 3 picks probably should all be defense.
Oh yeah. I think the Ravens take a linebacker. Eagles take Hamilton, and the Texans take Jermaine Johnson.
My wife's saying apparently our TV upstairs was not connected to Wi-Fi. But I haven't touched it. I don't know what's going on. Let's see what else we got here. Well, this is definitely not a quarterback pick. It's probably not a running back pick.
That's not much.
No, that's not much at all. They only moved up a couple spots though, so
They acquire more picks, but
I mean, if you're not worried, but moving 2 spots, if you're not worried about what you're going to lose.
That 2022 4th round pick, that's Spiller right there.
I didn't see who it's so. Oh, Hamilton's probably the number 1. Is Mel's number 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been that way for a bit now.
Devin Lloyd.
I think linebacker isn't out of the realm here. Just like this guy bringing his Carson Wentz jersey. Oh, there's Barry Sanders.
Walter Payton.
So many Hall of Famers in the crowd.
Jones Drew, look at that.
Look at Derrick Henry. He's moved out of the crowd too. A couple of them. Him and his brother. Look at the hat. Randall's there.
Hey, I got an Eagles.
Ba, ba, ba.
I got an Eagles jersey.
So do I. And you're not keeping yours.
I know.
Who are these people?
Well, I have room to keep him now because of that last trade. I got rid of Harrison Hopkins, so
Oh.
yeah,
These are punt, pass, and kick winners.
could be.
Nike sponsors something. They all have the same shoes.
All right.
I gotta put my phone down because I know the pick already. Wow.
Okay. I think no matter what, he's doing this to try to rub it in or something. I don't think it matters. Should I turn this up a bit?
Yes.
How many times have I said take Jordan Davis?
Well, eventually you're going to be right. Like you pick the Dolphins every year to win the Super Bowl.
I don't think
You have a little bit of a chance.
I don't think I actually ever have.
Probably never will.
I think I can't knock this move because
I can't either.
they moved up because Baltimore could have considered taking Jordan Davis at 14.
Yeah. And they didn't give up that much really either, so.
No, it was
Fourth round and 2 fifth round.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it gets interesting because originally I think everyone had linebacker here. I think this is Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Hamilton sliding this far, I think the Ravens take
Let's see.
the next Ed Reed.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Brees Hall.
I would not go that far at all.
You know, if Bryce Hall went there, he would replace J.K.
Mm-hmm.
and Gus Edwards. They could trade both those players.
You know, look at Ohio State running back track records. I mean, never had a good one.
You know what? Maybe I know what when the Steelers pick. Maybe they need to take that Trey McBride. This way they have maybe they can trade away.
Trade McBride?
Yeah, and then trade away Freiermuth or whatever.
They don't. That player's not on the team, Eric.
Oh, pick is in for the Ravens. They didn't waste any time. I'm gonna say Hamilton. If it's not Hamilton, the only pick I'm gonna go with is my original pick. I said, which was Dean, the linebacker from Georgia.
I went Lloyd originally.
You went Lloyd as well, if I remember. But you think
so.
you
I think-
sticking with that, or you
I-
changed up to
I think with
dance moves?
with Hamilton moving down, I
Yeah.
think it's Hamilton. But this is a very good pick for Philly.
Okay, how crazy would it be if Hamilton falls to 16 with Washington? Like they get what they want all along, and then whatever they got in their trade.
Wouldn't surprise me. So I know Baltimore wanted a cornerback as well.
So you're thinking this could be McDuffie?
No. I mean, who knows?
McDuffie's another kind of like complete.
I don't think
corner.
Duffy's necessarily the next best corner that's available. I still think the guy from Florida corner is better.
Elam.
Uh-huh.
I like Booth.
Yeah, I have Booth taken before. Actually, I have Eric Gordon.
This guy right here, Tony. Look at this guy in the Ravens or the Eagles. It'd be a good look for you in a Charger color scheme.
Let's do it.
Except you got to get the Ryan Leaf jersey because he's got the Wentz.
Could I get Doug Flutie? Wentz was actually good. Ryan Leaf was not.
All right, fine. Then you got to go with Tyrod.
Tyrod only played one game for the Chargers.
Can you tape a needle onto the front of it?
Yes. Oh, the side. It was more of his
Side.
ribs. Thank you, trainer. Give me Justin Herbert.
Yeah. Well, there's a war board. Who's on there?
A lot of those players are available.
Yeah. I think they took one of those guys.
That's a lot of
guess so.
players.
Watch this. Actually, this is the menu for catering.
Shrimp scampi, fried shrimp, grilled shrimp, shrimp linguine.
All right, Benjamin B for Blue. People call me Bubba.
And then Taunay came in here talking about. I don't know. What were you talking about?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
You might not be a smart man. But I know
Is that Hamilton right there?
No.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
He's like pissed. Because some of these, think about like in his case, he at one point was really high up. So think how much money he's like losing. Every pick he like loses a lot of money.
He's already thinking ahead to that second contract.
Yeah.
Can they exercise my 5th-year option now? Looks like they're talking about Hamilton as well.
Yeah. Look how enthusiastic that guy is.
Yeah, he needs to tone it down a bit. Oh, Ray Lewis showed up for the draft.
Oh, murderers in the house.
Nice.
Jay-Z presenting too?
All right. So I think at this point we've all changed our mind or pretty much consensus on Hamilton.
Yeah.
I mean,
Malik Willis.
Yeah, Lamar is useless. I've never liked Lamar.
all of a sudden a trade pops up at 15.
He just
Lamar Jackson. Both of us on the clock.
that would be insane.
Woo! Someone never heard of. Oh, yep.
This is where possibly.
I sometimes feel Jalen Ramsey's a little over. Like,
Yeah.
he's good, but it doesn't seem like he's.
Well, you know, he's good, but they don't use him in the typical quarterback style. He floats all over the field. He'll cover the slot sometimes. He covers this. So really, what is he? He could take away anything on the field, and that just opens up wherever for the quarterback to eat him up.
And here's the pick.
With the 15th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Kenyon Green,
Wow.
Wow,
Texas A&M.
guard.
Huh.
Good player out of Humboldt, Texas, in the
Wow.
Houston area. Two-time consensus All-American.
I didn't expect that. I had
No.
him. I believe I had him going down to Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas at 24. So he moved up quite a bit from
Mhm.
24 to 15.
I mean, it's good for the Texans to give Mills some extra protection.
Yep. I'm not knocking the pick at all. That's, And I mean, like I said, they need a running back. So he's going to do nothing but help that running back too.
Yep.
He's a guard. So
Yeah, just get him behind your guard and go. That's a good pick. Commanders. That's got to be Hamilton. For the third time.
yeah, that's just crazy because that's I have Hamilton being taken 11th overall to
Yeah.
Washington, and 5 picks later they're still going to get the guy I
Yeah.
predicted.
It's crazy that like ends up like that sometimes.
Right.
I mean, it's still gonna be bad. It's not gonna help him that much. But
I'm worried about this next, not the Commanders pick, because the pick is in for the Commanders. The Chargers, man. Everybody I want them to have is gone. So I'm going to say offense is good. I'm going to go with Devontae Wyatt.
that makes sense.
defensive
Who are
tackle.
their receivers they have? Keenan Allen, Mike Williams,
Josh Palmer
Josh Palm. That's what I could think of.
and Guyton.
Guyton, yeah. I like Guyton. But, I mean, those two
And they-
guys are...
Austin Eckler out of the backfield.
Yeah.
And then they just got Gerald Everett as their tight end.
Whatever
he's-
happened with running back they drafted last year? He was,
Roundtree
yeah,
never did anything.
that's sad.
So they're still searching for that power type goal line back, but they're not going to take him at 17 overall.
No.
That's why I'm saying, okay, they addressed the offensive line last offseason when they got Lindsley, and they got another offensive line last year.
Yeah. I don't remember who it was now either.
And then they got Marlon Mack. Or Marlon Mack. Wow. Khalil Mack to go with Bosa, so they're good there. I think they need defensive linemen to help stop that run. Because that's where they were bleeding a lot of their, not necessarily points, but
Yeah.
teams just could run on them all day long, wind out the clock, so that put Herbert in a bad position. So
Get any size soft drink for just a buck at McDonald's.
but I could see them going offensive tackle too. To get an offensive tackle opposite Slater to protect
Yeah.
Herbert even more.
Like Penning.
Yep.
That makes sense too.
My mom was a college athlete and had always been in great shape.
I originally had Jordan Davis going to the Chargers.
We knew something wasn't right.
I wanted a Olave, but that's not happening.
So when my mother was diagnosed, she knew it would be the battle of her life. Now I'm using every muscle in my body.
Yeah, some teams it was just so many players fit what they need. It's like hard to pick.
Yeah. Especially when you get into this range,
Yeah.
which what we talked about this before the draft started, is in this range, the players are just all lumped together where you don't really know what's going to happen. Like all these trades that just happened back to back to back.
Yeah.
The players that team wanted was still there. They were moving up to get them. They didn't
Everyone's-
care.
Everyone else kind of blends together, so it doesn't.
Right, so the teams are willing to move back
Yeah.
and still get the player they wanted.
Uh-huh.
Like right here, Hamilton could... Oh, Hamilton just went.
Yeah.
So what do the Commanders take here?
What?
Hollywood Brown was just traded. It is the Rashad Bateman show in Baltimore, and I have Rashad Bateman
Yep.
on my... Oh my gosh.
Ravens trade G Cardinals for number 23. Wow.
Number 23. So the Raiders now have pick 23. That changes some stuff here.
Ravens.
Yes.
What? That's a weird. Okay, so the Cardinals won't take a receiver.
No. Well, the Cardinals don't have that pick anymore. So the Ravens now pick at 23.
I'm getting a headache. Too much going on.
Ho ho ho. Eric has Hollywood Brown on his fantasy roster.
I used to be thrilled that Kyle Murray's going to run the ball and not throw to him.
Yeah, just like Lamar.
What about Johnson? Jermaine Johnson, we still around?
Yep.
The Washington Commanders select Jahan Dotson.
What?
Ooh.
Ooh. I was kind of hoping he'd follow the Chiefs. He has ninjas at his party?
He does. I didn't expect that, but
No.
I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz now has Terry McLaurin and now Dotson.
Yeah. Their tight ends decent. Logan
Thomas.
Thompson. Yeah.
And then he's got McKissick coming back, and then Antonio Gibson.
Mm-hmm. Plus they have the running back from Buffalo they drafted last year.
Jarrett Patterson.
Yeah, I like Patterson, but he just never got much play.
Right.
Chargers pick is in. That's Jermaine Johnson.
Not going to complain. Khalil Mack, Bosa, and Johnson.
It's the 3-man rotation. I believe in football you can't have too many.
I mean, put all three of them
Position
on the field at the same time.
Yeah, you could put Mack as a D tackle.
You could throw Mack as a stand-up inside linebacker and blitz him. You could
Yeah.
move Mack all over the field if you had those two on the ends.
Yeah.
You know, shove Bosa more as a 3 technique D tackle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here you go.
Well, here we go. I'm nervous.
With the 17th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Zion Johnson, guard, Boston College.
Not going to complain.
Nope.
Interior offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm. He helps the team.
Yep. He's a day one starter.
Yep. Look at his feet. Big dude.
And he's a guard.
Yeah.
He's going to pull for Eckler.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm actually hoping in these later rounds with how weak this running back class is, but it's still decent, they might be able to get like a Zamir White or
Yeah.
somebody like that later on in the draft.
Like Rashad White.
Rashad White.
Oh, the Titans are on the clock. There's been another trade.
There's been, oh my gosh. Eric's missing all the fun.
I know. So
We're-
the Eagles
I
traded
don't-
down. Tennessee's trading. Who's Tennessee trading up for? In front of New Orleans, because New Orleans might have taken
In
the
front of
quarterback.
New Orleans and Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Ooh.
Quarterback.
That's got to be a Willis move right here, right? Or Pickett. Is this broadcast better without Eric's dumb jokes?
Yes. Yes, two educated people on football talking about football, not wrestling.
About time. Oh, there he
Dude,
is.
dude,
You're missing
Hollywood Brown was
everything
just
right now.
traded. He's a Cardinal.
Seriously?
Yeah. Tennessee just traded up in front of New Orleans and Pittsburgh.
Rashad Dotson was taken by
Jahan Dotson.
Jahan Dotson was taken by Washington. The Chargers just took Zion
Williamson.
Williams.